Hey guys, so I want to be very clear, unless there are some people who still don't understand this. The conservatives in the United States, okay, the Christo-fascist right-wing Republican Party, they are committing or attempting to commit genocide. Okay, genocide is the destruction or the killing off of certain groups of people, or imposing conditions on them that lead to their destruction. This is what's happening. They're, simply by taking away modern medicine, right? They're ensuring that the sick, the disabled, right, the poor, women and girls who can't survive giving birth, right? Infants who can't survive birth. They're ensuring that these people just die, is what's happening, right? The elderly, okay? They're taking away a necessity of life, modern life-saving medicine. The mentally ill, right? They're taking away modern medicine from the mentally ill now, and they're talking about putting them in quote-unquote wellness camps. The Nazis did this, folks. Back in the Nazi regime, the mentally ill, the homeless, the disabled, people who were considered, drains on society, were taken to the camps. And those camps were said to be work camps, and where they were going to supposedly get medical care and learn to become proper citizens of society again. That's what the German masses were told about those camps. Okay? Do not believe the lies coming from the Christo-fascist conservatives. They're committing genocide. And you know what, when we think of war, we watch it on TV, right? And we see bombs falling and buildings collapsing. But most wars do not start that way. They start with infiltration from within. They start with just destruction of the system itself from within. Okay? With attacks on certain groups. Right? Certain things are bad things are allowed to be done to certain groups, and once the society allows it to happen to some groups, it happens to more and more and more. Okay? This is a quiet genocide because people aren't being killed off in the United States with bombs and buildings collapsing. They're being killed off by having the necessities of life taken away from them. Okay? With laws that lead to their death. And they're not just being killed, they're being tortured. They're it's to the people who say, oh, well, we don't see explosions, so there's no war there. What are you complaining about? It's not as bad there yet. Shut the fuck up. So they're not killing people with bombs. They're killing them in a quieter way, and you say that's not as bad. So they should just lie down and die. Okay. Folks, we have got to understand the manipulation being used to allow this to continue and to silence the population, to prevent them from opposing it. Now, granted, there are plenty of Americans who are opposing it. But people in other countries need to understand what's happening here. Right now you don't see bombs falling on us. Right? It's not like Ukraine or Gaza where you can see the bombs falling. So the assumption is it's not that bad. But people are being killed off here. People are being genocided out of existence here, quietly and in the background, where you can't see and you can't hear. So you're going to be less likely to oppose it. And the question is, at what point is it worth opposing? How many sick people, how many disabled people, how many mentally ill people or people falsely accused of mental illness, how many poor people, how many women, pregnant women and girls and infants have to die by this regime before you decide it's serious enough to warrant action? Right? They figured out a way to kill mass amounts of people without raising an eyebrow. They do it quietly. And they hide the consequences. They say, oh, no harm was done. Nothing bad is happening. They shout fearmonger. They tell you to just wait a little longer. And as you wait, more and more people die. They tell you to pick your battles. You may as well just keep the peace. So you're just going to let people die so supposedly keep the peace? Whose peace? I would ask other countries, especially those who still consider the United States a safe third country. Why do you still consider the United States a safe third country? And what has to happen for you to recognize that it isn't? Because people in the U.S. are wondering, at what point should they leave? You know, when is it too soon? When is it so soon that if they apply for asylum somewhere else, they're not going to get it? Okay, and when is it too late? How much has to happen? What is that trigger that tells them, okay, it's time to leave? When they see people from their own group being taken away, when they hear about the camps opening up and people being sent to them, when they see people being dragged off the street, when their own doors being pounded down, at what point is it no longer just paranoia? At what point do they say, I got to get out of here? And at what point do other countries say, yeah, these people need asylum? Just FYI.